Hey, good morning everyone. It's Monday morning. All weekend we spent pretty much the entire time working on that water filtration system. This week we are hoping is going to be the last week pretty much for the bulk of the work. I mean, there's still a lot to be done, but we're expecting this is going to be the last week for our two junior workers. And as far as the other two boys, the other two guys working on the plaster, some of their work may continue over into next week a little bit, but I'm hoping pretty much this is going to be the last week for the majority of the hired labor, which is good news for us. Cuts down our expenses a little bit, and also it's going to give us a little bit of time to work on some other things, focus on some things that we need to do. And today I'm going to get a piece of hose and I'm going to try and get the water filter rinsed out. I want to run water through it just to help get rid of some of the silt. Okay, that is the plan for this week. We're going to finish up that hallway, hopefully get it painted, and finish the roof in the ceiling in the kitchen. And yeah, looking forward to it. Okay. Beautiful day, let's get to work. Well, I am working up here in the roof once again. I'm in the kitchen is just behind me here. Anyways, I'm just trying to get this the final lights for the around the perimeter of the kitchen wired in, and I've got under the cabinet lights also I need to wire in to a multiple way switch down below. I got a bit of a rat's nest here going on, but it is all organized in my mind. So that's one of the last things I have to do. But I have to get this done before they seal up this roof section that I'm standing in and the one behind, because it's accessible from here, but it requires crawling on your knees. It's not something I want to have to do later, but if I need to, I can get to every single one of these boxes. Okay, let me get back to work.
Well, we wanted to keep at least one wall with the original adobe look. The other side we decided to plaster it semi-smooth, but we wanted to keep the flavor of the Quechua adobe building. So this one will be a little rougher and we'll show the bricks more. Kind of gives you the feeling that when you're walking down here, that's the way the bricks are now, taking the plaster off, original plaster off. And it gives you a feeling that you're in a medieval castle.
Come le va, Marco?
Bien, avanzando.
Yeah, it's muy, how do you say, rustico. Well, we've been trying out our water for purification system. This is the tank with the sand in it. Our water right now is about 6 inches over top of the sand. That can be adjusted with the little float. But right now we are just flushing it through to try and get the water clear coming out the other side. So this is the tank, the other tank. There's one in here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can see the bottom to about a foot of water. No, it's probably close to a foot of water. When we first started running the water through here, we couldn't see the bottom at all because of the silt. So there's a silt that's inherent in the sand. We did clean it as best we could, but there's still some in there. And that silt is now settling to the bottom, I'm assuming. Where else would it go? In the sand filter. Some of it's passing through, but a lot less every time we do it. So that is the objective, is to keep running water through this until it comes out clear on the other side before we even think about putting it into the system. Marco has been working all day creating a masterpiece of sculpture. He's been artificially creating those humps and bumps that are in the lower part of the wall and some of the upper part of the wall, making them a little bit more exaggerated. Well, it is the end of the day on Tuesday. Marco's been working on his, we call it his sculpture all day. We basically artificially created some of those undulations at the top just to make it look a little bit more even. Meanwhile, Danny on the other side filled out around the doors a little bit because they were quite, it was quite thin around the doors. He put on a coat of the mud with the cal and the sand in it, so that's our pre-painting phase. Meanwhile, the other two boys got the this other little section finished. They actually spent a large portion of the morning just painting boards and getting them ready. I think they painted all that was left. And so they just got a start on this section here. We had some issues with this ridge. Well, that's the end of the day on Tuesday, as you may have seen from some of these clips, or you'll see them now. I installed some electrical in that one bedroom, and I got the little trim at the top installed. It's just a piece of triangular wood with some caulking on it to seal off the room from the insects, and then there's going to be a trim that goes over top of that someday. I wanted to work on the trim of the windows, but it was just impossible to get through the hallway with two people working there on that wall all day. I'm going to be so glad when they're out of there and I have some space to move. It's nice having the help. We couldn't get it done without them, but there's some things now that I want to do that I just need some space. Nobody will bug me. Okay, so that's the end of the day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Oh, you got a fella up there.
Yes, that's what I mean. Our friend Israel is sacrificing his body up in the roof. This is literally the last piece of the ceiling in the entire house, other than the facade, which we have to put on tomorrow. And I will add that we are literally, including the facade, we're going to use our last piece of wood. Last piece of all wood we bought. We have 6 pieces left. We need 6 pieces.
Yahoo! The last screw and the last piece of wood.
Well, everyone, it is the end of the day on Wednesday. We reached a milestone today, as you will have seen in some of these clips. We installed the very last piece of the ceiling, very last piece. We still have the facade that has to go around there. We're going to do that on Friday, but it's still a milestone. We're almost finished. We're going to put that on Friday and we'll be completely finished with the ceiling. Other than the trim, there's going to be a cove in all over, but that's for another time and another video. This is the wall on the outside of the house, just alongside the kitchen. The wall is like this all the way to the corner and around the other side. This is natural adobe coating, and as you can see, a lot of it is quite cracked and split. It's a combination of adobe mud and fiber of some kind. Not sure exactly what they're using. Could be straw and stuff from the corn. Who knows exactly what it is. We're going to be using sawdust. So they're going to be working on this wall, and then eventually we will do down this side where all the components are. We have to move some of this stuff. So that's going to be tomorrow. So hopefully we'll get that finished. They'll get some of this done in the next 2 days. I'm not really worried about the last wall. After Friday, I'll talk a bit more of that. We're going to be taking a break. Won't have any employees around here unless we absolutely need them. We definitely need a break just from having everybody here. Anyway, I'll talk a bit more about that on my little review on Friday. Okay, so that's the end of the day for today. See you on Friday. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is Thursday afternoon. I have been in Aloha all day. I had to renew my driver's license, and so I had to prepare for that. And you have to write the test every time you renew it, every 5 years. Anyway, if you're interested in that kind of thing, I can fill you in on the details. You can see behind me, they've done some landscaping. They've been working here all day. Laurel's been directing traffic and making sure stuff has got done. They cleaned up a lot around here, filled in some holes where the pipes were, and the other boys have done most of the wall on the one side with the mud and plaster. We have to do that every once in a while because it's natural and it does dry out. Okay, so bought a bunch of stuff. I am not going to tell you what I bought. because it's going to be a surprise, but it's going to be something very interesting. So tomorrow we are going to finish the ceiling in the kitchen, install some lights, and it's going to be lots of fun. Okay, talk to you tomorrow. Okay, so I'm up on the roof. This is a view looking towards the kitchen. I'm sitting just close to where the bathroom is. And as you'll note, I have installed lights up here. One at this end and one at the other end. Some cross pieces of metal to help support the roof. And there's another light down at the far end. So now I'm looking back down towards our master bedroom. Hey everyone, just want to make a small editorial note here. I mentioned in this video that there was a surprise, that I had gone to town and bought something. That yet remains to be a surprise. So that will be revealed in the next video, what it is that I bought. It was key to our house. The other thing I mentioned in this video is I was going to make some comments about having the workers here, etc. The workers overall have been really, really good, I must say. Their work ethic on the whole was excellent. We simply could not have gotten this done without them. So we really have no complaints other than one of the contractors, but I will get to that in subsequent videos. However, we were anticipating having a bit of a break. Now we did continue working almost every day. In fact, I think we worked for about 10 or 12 days straight after they left. But the difference was that we didn't have to worry about people showing up here first thing in the morning. We could sleep in if we wanted to. I had all of my tools. I had access to all of my tools rather than hunting around for them all over the place. I got a chance to do some other things, which will be coming up in subsequent videos. I don't want to give it away. Okay, thanks so much for watching, for tuning in, for following us on this little journey on Home on the Range. This is Passion for Life Gallery, where life inspires art.